Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Alex Box Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as the NCAA Regionals roll on. In Game 1 today, LSU, as expected, was a winner. In Game 2, which is straight ahead, it's Tulane and the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. Hi, everybody, along with former LSU pitcher Ronnie Rance, I'm Lynn Rollins. Well, it's a Conference USA matchup of Tulane, which finished third in the regular season, against the Colonial League regular season champion North Carolina, Wilmington. These teams have never played in baseball.
Well, for the Seahawks, this is their first ever trip to the NCAA Regionals. It's been a long time coming because they've really been a bubble team that every year come month of May is always watching to see if maybe this will be their year to win the conference tournament or get an at-large bid. They didn't win the conference tournament. They got an at-large bid, which shows that the NCAA now has a lot of respect for the UNC Wilmington.
Jamie Hemingway has been very good for UNC Wilmington in the three-hole spot, and Ronnie, he's a guy who hits for average as a center fielder. He hits for power, and he also drives in a lot of runs.
Well, it's rare for a center fielder to have the combination of speed and power that he possesses, but Tulane's going to really have to contend with the three-hole batter Hemingway, who can do it all.
He is leading his club in the Triple Crown category. Meanwhile, for Tulane, there may not be a better hitter in the country than Michael Aubrey.
No question about it. Michael Aubrey may be the best player in this tournament here in Baton Rouge. And for the Seahawks, if they're going to try to beat Tulane and upset the Green Wave, they're going to have to shut down Michael Aubrey, who is probably the best left-handed hitter in America.
Nobody has been able to do that with regularity this year. He's batting over 400. It's Tulane, seeded number 2, against the Seahawks of North Carolina Wilmington at number 3. The winner plays LSU tomorrow afternoon. We'll be back with the first pitch and the starting lineups right after this timeout. Game 2 of the first day of the Baton Rouge Regional from Baton Rouge, Louisiana is brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. By State Farm Insurance and State Farm Financial Products. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Clico, winner of a National Emergency Response Award for its efforts following Hurricane Lily. By Avita Beer, the best tasting beer in Louisiana. And by Wright and Percy Insurance. Welcome back to Alex Box Stadium, everyone. I'm Lynn Rollins, along with former LSU pitcher Ronnie Rance. Well, the ballpark not as packed as it was in the first game, but still a very nice crowd on hand. Here's the way the North Carolina Seahawks will bat. There are 7 300 hitters in the lineup, brought to you by Jerry Lane of Baton Rouge. Chip Grory is the left fielder, followed by first baseman Matt Wright. Jamie Hemingway, who has done it all for the Seahawks this year, is in center field. Matt Sutton is the right fielder. Jason Schindler is the DH. Russ Simmerman is the second baseman. Aaron Smith hits 7th at shortstop. Pat Murphy is catching, and Brad Denson is at third base for this Seahawk team. There is Billy Mole with a record of 6-2 with an earned run average of 4.65 for Tulane. Mole, a very solid performer. He's had excellent walk-to-strikeouts ratio this year. Defensively for the Green Wave, it's Southard, Kaplan, and Bogusevic in the outfield. Bogusevic is coming off appendectomy surgery last week. Brumby, Giarratano, Manzella, and Aubrey on the diamond from third to first. Mole and Brian Bormaster, one of the finest catchers in the nation, is the battery for Tulane. There's Rick Jones. He's been through these wars before. The Green Wave have appeared now in 6 consecutive NCAA postseason appearances. And on the other side, it's a new time at bat for this Wilmington club.
At UNC Wilmington, the Seahawks in the NCAAs for the first time in the school's history. Head coach Mark Scaff has got to be thrilled to bring his club to Alex Box Stadium, and I expect a pretty evenly matched ball game between these two teams. You've got an excellent starter on the mound, Billy Mole, a freshman, but on the other side for UNCW, Brad Overton is excellent as well, so it should be a pretty evenly matched ball game.
And there's a lot of power in the lineup for both teams. The first pitch is lined off the second baseman's glove. Manzella could not hold it. And Groy gets a base hit to open the ball game, moving his hitting streak to 7 consecutive games. Well, Ronnie, we saw a lot of first ball swinging in the first game that LSU was able to hold on and take care of Northeastern as expected. And Groy does the very same thing here.
Well, the book on Billy Mole is that he's not going to walk you. And there you see the line drive that Manzella just can't come up with. But Billy Moles only got 10 walks and 71 2/3 innings pitched, so he's going to throw a lot of strikes. So the game plan for UNCW is to go up there hacking.
That's about 1.3 walks per 9 innings. And he has fanned 58, so he's averaging about 7 strikeouts for every walk. Matt Wright batting .305 with 8 homers, 38 runs batted in. And the pitch is a fastball strike. This Wilmington team loves to burn the base paths. This is a club that has stolen 112 bases this year and only been caught 26 times.
Anytime you can average 75% success on the base paths, that means stealing 3 out of every 4. You're doing an excellent job.
And they've been good about 6 out of every 7 times.
They've been way over that average. And UNCW is one of those types of teams that they'll run at any time in the ball game. They'll bunt at any point. You've got to be on your toes defensively.
Roy has 22 stolen bases. He's only been caught twice. Wright takes a strike. Mole has given up a lot of hits per innings pitched, 84 in 71 2/3 innings. But as you pointed out, Ronnie, his control has been exceptional as a young pitcher for Tulane. The opposition is batting .291 against him. 6 wins and 2 losses. This is his 13th start, and he's had a couple of complete games. His 18th appearance overall. Roy at first base. There he goes. And he came back. The pitch was outside, and Wright fought it off.
A little fake steal by Groy, and that's the kind of stuff that UNCW will do.
Boy, they just like to get on base and jitterbug you to death.
It'll be interesting to see how the freshman Mole will handle it. Billy Mole, 6'4", 214 pounds. The youngster's out of Sugar Land, Texas, and has had quite a freshman season.
That's a suburb of Houston, for those of you not familiar with your South Texas geography. It's still 2 strikes on Matt Wright. North Carolina Wilmington out of the Colonial Conference. This is a school more known for its basketball success than baseball. They've been on the cusp of postseason play the last few years, but this is the first time Wilmington has broken through.
The Seahawks in the NCAA tournament the last 2 years in a row in basketball. And UNC Wilmington, the campus for the Seahawks, is where the Washington Wizards hold their preseason training camp. So it's basketball crazy in North Carolina.
Manzella, Giarratano, back to Aubrey, a quick double play.
Well, no question for the Tulane Green Wave, the strength of their defense is right up the middle where any good defense of strengths are. You're talking about a couple of good ones right there in Manzella and Giarratano. They make it look easy. And when you throw John Kaplan in center into the mix, that's a pretty darn good middle infield and center field combination.
And then Bormaster behind the plate is among those considered the best catchers in America. Here's one of the best players in America, Jamie Hemingway. He's hit safely in 7 consecutive games. How many times do you see a player leading the team in homers, batting average, runs batted in, and stolen bases?
And then mix in the fact that he's a fine outfielder as well, and you got yourself quite a player and a pretty good solid package. Hemingway, 6'3", 215 pounds. With the kind of year that he's having, there's a good chance that Jamie Hemingway might get a chance to continue his career after playing for the Seahawks.
One ball, 2 strikes on Jamie Hemingway. The Seahawks, 138. They dropped 21 this year. Brumby gets his man. Aubrey with a nice stretch. nips Hemingway at first base. A base hit, no runs. Tulane comes to bat in the bottom of the first. Welcome back to Baton Rouge. Here is your Jerry Lane starting lineup. Johnny Kaplan leads off in center field, followed by Tony Giarratano. First baseman Michael Aubrey in another 3 spot. Wes Swackhammer is the DH. Brian Bogusevic, the right fielder. Tommy Manzella at second base. Nathan Southard in left field. Turner Brumby is the third baseman. And Brian Bormaster is at the bottom of the order. Brad Overton, who was a reliever prior to this year, has won 7 and dropped 2. He's a senior with a very good earned run average of 2.87. Overton has thrown 94 pitches, or 94 innings, and given up only 68 hits. Brawy, Hemingway, and Sutton in the outfield. Benson, Smith, Zimmerman, and Wright on the infield. Overton and Murphy are the battery for this Wilmington team. Overton is quite a story, Ronnie, as Kaplan leads off. He had only a handful of starts in his first 3 seasons. They made him into a starter this year, and my, oh my, has he been good. 15 appearances, 14 starts, 2 complete games. Only 68 hits allowed in 94 innings. He has fanned 74, walked 34. That's been a little bit of a problem, averaging about 3 walks a game. The opposition is batting .206 against this man, Brad Overton.
Brad Overton has had quite a year. He's beaten University of North Carolina, also knocked off Princeton, who's in the NCAA tournament. But he hits Kaplan right there. And that's what Kaplan does best. He gets on base. His on-base percentage up over .420.
That's the 12th time that he's been hit this year.
Right there in the midsection and got far of the jersey. He leads the team in that category. Been hit by a pitch 12 times.
Well, Kaplan has stolen 47 bases this year. He's only been caught 5 times. I would say both catchers have their work cut out for them tonight. Kaplan was leaning, and Overton gave him the lazy move back. Johnny Kaplan.
Johnny Kaplan, 47 stolen bases. So it's not a matter of if he's going to go, it's when.
Not this time. Giarratano with 8 homers and 40 runs batted in to go with a .335 average. The winner plays LSU tomorrow at 3. The loser meets Northeastern at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Two balls and no strikes on Tony Giarratano. There is the plate umpire, Ken McQueen from Oklahoma City. Nick Zabelli is at first base. He's the crew chief from Carver, Massachusetts. At second base is Joe Cacciatore from Waltham, Massachusetts. And Chuck Lyon from Castiac, California is working third. There goes the runner. Murphy's throw is in time. Kaplan is caught for only the 6th occasion this year. And what a throw by Murphy, because Kaplan had a whale of a jump away from first base.
I'll tell you, I noticed in the pregame watching UNCW take infield and outfield in, and was pretty impressed with Murphy throwing the baseball around the diamond. And right here, he gets rid of it and puts it right on the money. A bang, bang play. And a real close play at that. Kaplan just gets nabbed for the 6th time all year.
And for Wilmington, a pretty good thing that Kaplan was retired, because Giarratano has followed with a base on balls.
So a hit batsman and a base on balls by Overton, and UNCW has 1 out thanks to Pat Murphy's great throw behind the plate.
One of the best hitters in America is in the middle of your screen right now, Michael Aubrey.
And I'm pretty sure they're going to be extremely careful with Michael Aubrey. That first pitch not anywhere near the strike zone, and they're going to throw him some off speed. They see hung a breaking ball right in the middle. Aubrey just missed it.
Well, not only does Aubrey have the gaudy numbers, .418 average, 17 homers, 77 runs batted in, 97 base hits, and Ronnie, he has fanned 11 times the whole year.
On base percentage 500.
So that means you're going to see Aubrey on average 2 times on the base paths every game.
But for a guy with as much power as Michael Aubrey has, 17 home runs, 18 doubles, to only strike out 11 times and 232 at bats is exceptional for a college baseball player or any baseball player. That's very good stuff.
2 balls and a strike on the Tulane first baseman. That's downstairs. Overton is having trouble finding the plate in the first inning.
Well, he's obviously, you got to imagine he's fired up, probably a little bit over adrenalized, and it may take a little bit, maybe an inning before Overton can kind of settle down and get his composure together.
Pretty close over there.
Very close play. Take a look at the replay right here. Does the hand get back?
Yes, it did.
Well, according to the umpire, it did, but on a replay, I don't know about that. Tag might have got him on the shoulder before the hand got in there. But getting back to Overton, he's a guy who, for the first 3 years for UNCW, was a closer, a reliever. Did not start much until this season. And so he's used to that reliever mentality. Come in there a little fired up, emotional, try to slam the door. And this year he's been asked to move into a new role and has responded very well. This is 15th start of the year and 16th appearance overall.
And Aubrey draws a base on balls. So Overton has hit a batter and walked 2. There's 1 out with 2 aboard for Wes Swackhammer. Swackhammer is hitting just under 300 with 8 homers and 35 runs batted in.
Bad as things have been so far for UNCW with the hit batsman and 2 walks, they're still only 1 good pitch away from being out of the inning. Runners at first and second and 1 down, a ground ball, and the Seahawks could turn 2.
There's a good pitch on the outside corner. Swackhammer is out of Saunderstown, Rhode Island. Also played at the University of Florida. This is his 2nd year with the Green Wave. He hit .333 a year ago, although he only had 12 at-bats.
Now Rick Jones and Chuck Lyon, the third base umpire, getting into it a little bit. I think Chuck Lyon is explaining to Rick Jones where the third base coach's box is.
Rick is a pacer down there. There's no question about it. There's another good fastball. One thing Overton has done is not groove anything here. He has walked a couple, he's hit a batter, but Ronnie, he's not about to throw anything down the middle to this Green Wave team.
He's nibbling on that outside corner to Swackhammer, and trying to get Swackhammer to roll over on a ground ball.
Good slider there. It's lifted to the outfield. Grawey started in. Now he retreats, backpedaling, and he grabs it. The wind continues to whistle out toward left center field, and Grawey misplayed it for a moment.
Well, when Grawey went back for that ball, About halfway to him, I happened to look up at the flags, and it's like the wind picked up about halfway to left field, and then all of a sudden he started drifting and wound up having to make a heck of a catch. Watch, all of a sudden he's like, uh-oh, and he has to backpedal in a hurry to haul this ball in.
That's the second out of the inning. And here is Bogusevic. Man, this Tulane team is loaded with swingers. Driven deep to right center field. Hemingway back on the run, on the warning track. He makes an over-the-shoulder catch. Wow! That's why he's one of the best in the country. No score after one. There you see some of the crowd for game 2 today. LSU won the first game over Northeastern. No score after one. A couple of nice defensive plays for both sides in the first inning.
The Seahawk defense kind of bailed out Brad Overton, who struggled with his control in the first inning, but a couple of nice plays in a row, and the Seahawks escaped without giving up any runs in the bottom of the first.
Matt Sutton is one of 7 300 hitters in the lineup, and he fouls the first pitch out of play. Sutton shares the team lead with Hemingway with 10 homers.
You know, Matt Sutton, a freshman, also does a little bit of pitching as well, or can pitch. 5'9", 165 pounds, out of LaGrange, North Carolina. Got on a plane, Lynn, to come over here and it was his first plane flight ever.
Wow.
Had never even been to an airport. So the Seahawks had a couple, but 2 or 3 players that had never flown before, and they flew here to the Baton Rouge Regional. And guess who was on their flight but none other than the heavyweight champion, Evander Holyfield, who was in Baton Rouge yesterday to speak at a banquet, and the UNCW was on the plane with him. The players got to shake his hand and whatnot. Pretty neat.
Maybe that relieved some of the angst that those first-time flyers had.
That's right. If it's good enough for the champ, it's good enough for me, right?
That's right. Gio Rotano is in front of it. On to first, out number 1. By the way, guess who won in Hattiesburg this afternoon?
Congratulations to Roger Kadar and the Southern Jaguars. They knock off Southern Mississippi on their own field, 5-3. And what just a huge win for the Southern Jaguars. They move into the winners bracket round. And the Jaguars will play the winner of Murray State and Baylor. Baylor's the number 1 seed in that regional. Roger Kadar has got a very good offensive team. We knew about that. They've got a ton of guys that will be drafted. Ricky Weeks, second baseman, maybe the number 1 pick in the Major League draft in a couple of weeks. But their pitching staff got it done today. Starting pitcher went 8 2/3, and they got good relief pitching as well, and won the ball game in front of about 4,000 Golden Eagle fans.
2 strikes on Schindler, and he pokes it to center field. Kaplan has no trouble with that. 2 outs. Well, we talked about it on our last broadcast a couple of weeks ago in the regular season about nobody wanted to face Southern in the first round, and the Jaguars make that prophecy come true, beating the Conference USA regular season and tournament champion Southern Mississippi. And I was a little surprised that Southern Mississippi did not get a number 1 seed in its own regional. Baylor is the number 1 team there, and that's the only regional where the host team is not a number 1 seed. Taking nothing away from Baylor, a very fine club out of the Big 12, but Southern Mississippi had one whale of a year in Conference USA.
That'll be an interesting tournament to watch, and of course the winner of the Baton Rouge Regional plays the winner of the Hattiesburg Regional in the Super Regionals.
Zimmerman, as in Zimmerman, but with an S, batting .256, 2 outs, nobody aboard. No runs have come across for either team. We play in the second. Billy Mole getting the start for Tulane.
See Mole mixing in a changeup down and away. He'll throw him, mid 80s, 87, 86, 87, 88. Mix in that slider and then a changeup.
That's beyond Giarratano. It's the second hit of the game for North Carolina Wilmington. It comes with 2 outs in the second inning.
Shortstop, number 11, Aaron Smith.
You see a fastball by Mole, actually a very good pitch. Got it up just a little bit, and Zimmerman made him pay. Stayed back, let the ball come to him, and hit it hard the other way.
So now it's Aaron Smith with 2 outs. The North Carolina shortstop is batting .264 with 1 home run and 19 runs batted in. Zimmerman, by North Carolina standards, has not run very much. He's 8 of 12 on the base paths. Mole, the young pitcher, was born in Colorado but lives in Texas. And like most of these Tulane players, was a very good student in high school. Strike 1 on a breaking ball. There is Zimmerman. He is aboard on a 2-out single. We are scoreless in the second inning. Game 2 of the Baton Rouge Regional, where they've done it 14 consecutive years. A fastball strike. Mole has done a nice job of changing pitches and speeds in the first couple of innings.
Well, that's his MO. He's going to throw strikes. He's only walked 10 batters all year, and fastball slider guy, and then if he's on, he'll maybe work in that third pitch, the changeup.
Runner breaks. Called strike. Pegged down. Not in time, but it's not going to matter. Smith strikes out to end the inning. So Mole gave up a 2-out single, nothing more. We are scoreless in the middle of the second. Welcome back to Baton Rouge, everyone, along with Ronnie Rance. I'm Lynn Rollins, and we are delighted to be coming your way tonight. Great to be in your living room or sports bar or wherever you may be enjoying it. Well, there's Chad Suter coaching first base today in the absence of Brandon Belanger. Brandon and his wife had a little baby boy a couple of days ago, and so Brandon is not available for duty today. And Chad Suter, who was an outstanding catcher at Tulane and has been on the staff since he graduated in '99, is at first base today. Tommy Manzella, with a .344 average, has been rock solid for the Green Wave. The 1-strike pitch is lifted to shallow right. Sutton was deep. He's got a long way to run, and he can't get it. Well, the Greenies already have had 4 base runners.
Well, maybe Chad Suter's bringing him some luck over there in the first base coach's box. That flare had eyes on it and fell just in front of the right fielder, Sutton.
Maybe you got a little peek at the sand out in right field. And that was put there because there are some wet spots. Apparently the field was overwatered a little bit, and it settled in right. This field can take a lot of water, believe me. And it has been dry. There you see the sand just put in to sort of level things out, and by tomorrow it'll be perfectly playable, and certainly is in excellent condition right now.
So somebody pulled a Bull Durham and turned the sprinklers on in the middle of the night.
It might have been Northeastern.
They gave it a good shot earlier.
Southard lifts that one down the line in right. Sutton is over, and he makes the catch in fair territory.
Earlier, of course, LSU knocked off Northeastern in the first game today, and you got to give Northeastern a lot of credit. They came out and were very aggressive and did not back down from the Tigers. Put 8 runs on the board and double-digit hits. Gave LSU a good run for their money.
Manzella doesn't run much. He's 4 out of 5. Wow. Brumby barely got out of the way. Well, that will get your attention.
You see the replay. They're trying to go with a fastball on the outside corner, and that was about 1 inch from Brumby's nose.
First baseman Wright snares it in foul ground. Brumby is retired. Ronnie, I've got a sort of a little procedural question to ask you here. When you were playing at Menard High School, I always get those Eagles in. And also for LSU, I want to know what the procedure was for putting on the grease paint under the eyes before the game. Now, I mean, how did you guys do it? Did somebody else do it? There's a reason I'm asking you this.
Well, usually pitchers don't wear the eye black, but for Brad Overton, he does, and maybe that's, you know, some guys, that's their thing. It makes them feel more like an everyday player. But the pitchers, when they put the eye black on, but of course there was cork back then. You had basically took a cork and you burned it with a lighter, and then, you know, you put it on the eyes. But now that's a piece of basically a Band-Aid, a black Band-Aid underneath their eyes.
Murphy has room and he makes the catch. Well, I'm going to have to continue the eye black story when we move to the third. There's no score after 2 between Tulane and North Carolina Wilmington on the Jumbo Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone. We are scoreless as we move to the third inning. North Carolina Wilmington, the visiting team. Tulane, seeded number 2, is the home team today. The loser of this game gets up early tomorrow and plays Northeastern. The Huskies were 11-8 losers to LSU in Game 1. The winner plays LSU tomorrow at 3. Pat Murphy bats for the first time. He carries a .302 average. He's only had 53 at-bats with 16 base hits. First pitch is tapped down to Gio Rotano. On to first. 1 gone.
At the home of the Seahawks, third baseman, number 30, Brad Simpson.
Gio Rotano had to battle through some injuries last year. He's been a very good player for Tulane. Brad Denson bats for the first time at the bottom of the order. He's got a .328 average in the number 9 hole. 44 for 134 this year. The youngster Mole starts him with a strike at the knees. Denson tried to bunt it and he missed. One out, nobody on base. Denson reaches for the breaking ball and lifts it into the air, and it drops in foul territory out of the reach of Aubrey. McNeese was a loser in 10 innings today to Rice. So the Southland Conference tournament champion Cowboys gave the heavily favored Rice Owls a scare, but Rice was able to prevail in an extra inning. Lamar, the regular season Southland champion, won its first game. We'll get you caught up on scores from around the country in a moment. Denson can't catch up with the fastball, and that is strikeout number 2 for Mold. That's nearly an unhittable pitch. So Mold off to a good start. And he'll face Chip Grawey, Grawey, out of Vienna, Virginia. Ball 1. Grawey singled on the first pitch of the game in the first. He had a very good debut. His first collegiate hit was a home run back in 2000. Ball 2. Grawey was erased on a double play in the first. Zimmerman singled with 2 outs in the second. 2 gone, none on in the third, and a scoreless game. That's hit sharply. Giarratano has to get up and fire and drills it over to first base. A nice play by Anthony Giarratano. And we have played 2.5 from Baton Rouge. There is no score between the numbers 2 and 3 seeds. This is the Jumbo Sports Network. Hampton Inn on College Drive in Baton Rouge is the Jumbo Sports Network home away from home. Consistent quality, great prices, no surprises. Hampton Inn with a money-back guarantee on College Drive in Baton Rouge. It's a great place to stay when you're in the Baton Rouge capital. And they will treat you right, I guarantee it. Johnny Kaplan takes a pitch high from Brad Overton. Tulane has had some base runners. Kaplan was hit by a pitch. Giarratano and Aubrey both walked in the first. Kaplan was thrown out stealing, only the 6th time he's been caught. And then Manzella opened the second with a single, but Overton has been able to work his way free each time. Tulane won 43 games and dropped only 17, finishing 3rd in the regular season in Conference USA and 2nd in the CUSA tournament down in New Orleans. Southern Mississippi won it with a 23-7 record. TCU was 1 game back at 22-8. Tulane was 20-10. Houston at 18-12. That's on the outside corner to Johnny Kaplan. Rick Jones pacing as he normally does down in the third base coaching box. Kaplan drives it deep to left. Grawey back. Grawey looks up. He can't get it. It's over his head. It's into the... Nope, it's bounced up, and they're going to call that one a home run. It is in the bleachers. Kaplan had stopped at first base. And it's a home run for Johnny Kaplan. It's his 10th of the year. It made the first row, and Tulane is on the scoreboard first.
Now Johnny Kaplan, one of the guys who makes it happen for the Tulane Green Wave, Lanny. Been a fantastic player his entire career. That's his 10th home run of the year. The fastball up above the belt. And Kaplan hammers it over the left field wall. Got up in that wind and just did make it over the fence.
Kaplan right there was retreating to first base, and then they said, touch them all, young man.
I think he missed the bag and wanted to make sure he went back and touched it.
Not a bad idea. Here's Giarratano, who takes a fastball high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tony walked in the first and was left at second base. How about that? Kaplan with 10 homers at the top of the order. Grawe will have another chance, hustling over, sliding. Oh, he went hard into that fence, but pops right up. Man, that's a little dirt bag out there in left field.
He gave it the all-American effort, that's for sure. Dove in and ran into the fence.
You know, you've got to have a pretty big chest to get UNCW across the front of it. Giarratano will live to see another pitch on a 1-2 count. Michael Aubrey is on deck. Overton put that fastball off the fist, and Giarratano fouls it off. LSU won the first one 11-8. The Tigers got off to a big lead, and Northeastern never gave up. Giarratano fans, and that is the first strikeout for Overton.
At the plate today, first baseman, Michael Aubrey.
A pretty good slider right there. Michael Aubrey bats with 1 out, a run home on Johnny Kaplan's homer. Aubrey walked last time. 2-0. This Green Wave team has appeared in 6 consecutive NCAA postseason appearances. And who can forget that 2001 Super Regional between the Tigers and the Green Wave in New Orleans? The 3-0 pitch. Aubrey walks for the second time. It's the third walk off Overton. 1 on, 1 out. Swackhammer flied to left last time. Aubrey has been pretty active on the base paths. He's stolen 18 times. He's only been caught twice. So he's a guy who not only hits for power and average and RBI, but he's a fellow who can run pretty well too. Tulane's run came on a leadoff homer by Kaplan here in the third. That is just off the plate. Overton isn't missing by much on a lot of pitches. That's upstairs. A run in, a runner at first. That's Aubrey. And 1 out here in the third. Brad Overton has been the ace of this North Carolina Wilmington staff this year. But he's had some problems finding the strike zone. 3 balls and 1 strike on Swackhammer. Runner breaks. The pitch is outside, and there are 2 aboard via the walk.
Well, Overton's problems that plagued him in the first, as far as being a little wild and missing his target, is continuing here. And Tulane has only put 1 run on the board, but it could have been a lot worse, and now he's going to get a little visit.
I never did get to finish my boot black story.
All right.
Now, when you guys were putting it on in the old days, 10 years ago or so,
Right.
I mean, did you do it yourself? Did somebody else do it? Did the trainer do it? Did a girlfriend do it? I mean, what's the deal?
Usually you got your teammate to do it.
All right.
Usually a teammate helped out. Unless maybe you had a mirror or something and you were in the bathroom.
Here's what was happening before the ball game. These Wilmington players had these neat little compacts that they had the mirror and they had the light on them, and they had 2 or 3 different shades, and they were kind of adjusting things, and maybe one of them was plucking his eyebrows. I don't know, but they were putting that eye black on very, very neatly. I mean, it was a very precision thing. So I didn't know if that was the modern era college player or just something that's always been there, and I never noticed it.
Maybe that's a Colonial Conference thing. I don't know, but baseball guys and compacts. That's not supposed to go hand in hand.
Bogusevic is coming off that laparoscopic appendectomy of 8 or 9 days ago. He didn't play in the Conference USA tournament.
Ouch.
The old days, you'd be out for a month with an appendectomy.
Pitching coach Scott Jackson went out to the mound to have a word with Overton, and
that's fisted to right. It's down in front of Sutton. Aubrey scores, and there are runners on the corners.
Well, a pretty good pitch by Overton. But Bogusevic did a nice job of just fighting off that inside fastball and getting the base hit. Watch, this ball's bearing in on his hands. And Bogusevic able to get enough of it to muscle it into right field. Now, Aubrey would have scored anyway on that ball, but the error by Sutton allowed the runner to go to third. So green wave now with runners at first and third and 1 down. With Manzella coming to the bat, who's had a great year, comes in hitting .344 on the season.
And he had a base hit in the second. It was his 78th of the year. And time is called as Manzella has something in his eye. Well, Kaplan has 91 hits now. Giarratano has 87. Aubrey has 97. Manzella with 78. I mean, this is a team that has a lot of offense. You get 2 guys in your lineup with 90 or more hits. They've only played 60 games. That's a hit and a half per game.
Tulane's an offensive machine this year. First 3 guys in the lineup, all .357, .335, and .418. Those are the averages.
That's a pretty good average if you average those together. Five Tulane players in this lineup are 300 or better. Wilmington has 7 of the 9 at 300 or better. 1-1 pitch. Slider and a good one. That got there in a hurry and then had a little hook on it.
Well, Overton's got some good stuff. He can get the fastball up in the upper 80s, even touch a little 90 action, and has a good slider. His problem today has just been his command. He's issued 3 free passes.
That's Matt Carter getting ready in the bullpen.
The double barrel action in the bullpen, a lefty and a righty for the Seahawks.
Carter was the right-hander.
they can ill afford, the Seahawks can, to fall behind in this ball game. Will Hunt warming up, the left-hander.
Just wide. A very close pitch, and Ken McQueen ruled it off the plate. We've got two umpires from Massachusetts, one from California and another from Oklahoma City. This Overton is
focus and command, but Overton's numbers are so good, you would figure by now here in the bottom of the third he'd start to settle in a little bit. And that's got to make Mark Scaff, the head coach, a little concerned.
This is the 27th game away from Wilmington this year for North Carolina. They haven't done very well on the road, only 14-12. Although that's not particularly unusual. 2-2 pitch, runner breaks, and that runs in and knocks Manzella down. I don't know where it hit him, but it hurt him.
Let's see, this ball has a lot of run on it towards the hitter. Trying to go fastball inside corner and gets Manzella, looks on it like on that left wrist. And that's an oucher.
Is it ever?
Not a lot of padding around the wrist area. Easy to get a fracture, but he looks to be okay down at first base.
That ball looked like it tailed in on him about 14 inches, didn't it? Kaplan was nicked by a pitch in the first, but didn't take it solidly, and we're going to have a pitching change here.
Mark Scaff has seen enough and can ill afford to fall further behind against this very good Tulane Green Wave club.
He wants the right-hander. This is Matt Carter coming out of the bullpen. So Tulane with a homer by Kaplan in the third. The bases are loaded now with Swackhammer and Bogusevic and Manzella aboard. Aubrey walked in the inning and he scored on Bogusevic's base hit. And North Carolina Wilmington is down by 2 with a new pitcher coming on. Matt Carter with a record of 3 wins and a loss and an earned run average of 2.89. He has walked only 7 and he has fanned 20. And Carter is making his 18th appearance of the year. He's thrown 28 innings. He has allowed 30 base hits. The opposition is batting .288 against him. And our second train of the day makes its appearance. The 8:05 is right on time.
Well, nothing fills you up like a Cane's box or cools you down like a fresh squeezed homemade lemonade. So round the bases at any one of the 12 South Louisiana locations of Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Fresh, never frozen chicken fingers, but sauce, coleslaw, Texas toast, and a whole lot more. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, Lafayette, Baton Rouge, Gonzales. New location just opened in Houma and coming to a town near you.
I bet those Houma Bayou Bucks get full on that stuff.
Believe me, and you'll be a Caniac like myself and be addicted to that stuff. It's excellent.
Nathan Southard flied to right last time. He's got a teammate on every base. We're in the third, and Tulane has a chance to put some distance between itself and this number 3 seed. Kaplan is homered in the inning. Bogusevic has an RBI single. 2-0 Tulane, only 1 out. Swackhammer, Bogusevic, and Manzella are aboard. Overton went only 2 1/3. That's a bit of a surprise.
That's a very big surprise. Brad Overton has been sensational this year. 7-2 with a 2.87 earned run average coming into today's ball game.
He only gave up 3 hits, but he was wild as a road lizard. Southern chases one, and there's the second out of the inning. That's a big strikeout.
This was. Here's you see the pitch, just kind of a little sinker action by Matt Carter. The ball just tumbled down out of the strike zone. A good pitch.
Now you see, there was the boot black that maybe was applied with a bad mirror. I mean, that's not a very good eye job. Ground ball left side. To second for the force. And Matt Carter comes on and prevents any further damage. Tulane gets 2 in the third. The first one coming on Kaplan's home run. Well, the 8:05, which was right on time, continues to be seen in your picture. 2-0 Tulane as we play in the fourth. This train is at least 4 minutes long, and there's the end of it. 8:09 now. That one's headed to the Midwest somewhere. One came by earlier and lasted about 5 minutes heading south. Ronnie, did you ever fantasize about, where these trains go, and maybe as a little kid, hop a train and see what happens?
Yeah, no. That was your generation.
I didn't think so.
I was a plane guy. If I was going to hop anything, I was hoping to hop a plane, not a train. I didn't figure that to be very glamorous.
Oh, you big city guys. Maybe a cruise ship, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Cast away on the Royal Caribbean ship somewhere.
You haven't asked me how my garden's going yet. Picked a little squash yesterday.
That's outstanding.
First produce of the year.
A lot of fertile ground up in Pineville, Louisiana, where you're living.
Oh, you got to work it, A lot of clay up there. We play in the fourth. Matt Wright, facing Billy Mole, has been pretty good for Tulane. He's got a 2-0 lead to work with. That looked like a changeup.
Yeah, real nice change of speeds right there. If the Seahawks are going to get back in this ball game, they're going to have to do it swinging. Billy Mole's not going to hit batters and give you free passes, which is kind of what did in Brad Overton.
Well, in the first game, we saw Jake Tompkins get the surprise start for LSU. He was good enough to win. Is Mole that type of surprise starter for Tulane, or does this figure to be something that they had planned on all along?
Well, Billy Mole's been a guy that they have a lot of confidence in, and has pitched in some big games. Don't be fooled by the fact that he's a freshman. They believe in Billy Mole, and heck, this Tulane club is led by freshmen on the mound. You see one of the few mistakes he's made today. That ball up in the strike zone, laced in the center.
That's the third base hit by the Seahawks. All of them have been singles. And now Jamie Hemingway gets a chance to bat with a runner aboard. He tapped out to Brumby last time. This is one of those guys who can beat you in so many ways, Hemingway. Ground ball right side. Knocked down by Manzella. Oh, what a play. Even some LSU fans are clapping for that one.
Boy, Manzella with an outstanding play, and then not only does he dive and make a great play right here to keep this ball in the infield, but then he's able to spin and throw and get the speedy Hemingway easily. When you're throwing strikes and working quickly, your defense usually plays pretty well behind you. It's when you're wild and hitting guys and walking guys, and then you hope your defense can bail you out with a great play, but by that time they're on their heels, they're not anticipating as well, but not that time.
Wright moved to second. Sutton at the plate. He's got home run power with 10. Aubrey behind the bag. 2 outs on 2 very nice plays from the right side of the Tulane defense.
Well, Aubrey made that difficult play look so easy. Just kind of ranged to his left and backhanded the ball down the line. Watch this ball get down the line. That ball is a double, maybe triple, if it gets by Aubrey. But the All-American says no problem.
He's one of those cool customers down there, isn't he?
Yep, he sure is. He played on the USA team last summer with Aaron Hill and Ricky Weeks.
If you've just joined us, the Ricky Weeks-led Southern team upset number 2 seed Southern Mississippi today.
Over in Hattiesburg on their home field, the Jaguars knocked off Southern Miss.
Schindler applied to center last time.
Not the biggest win in Southern University's baseball history. They beat Cal State Fullerton, who was ranked number 1 in the country back in 1987 down in New Orleans. Beat them 1-0 in the first round game of the NCAA regional that year. But probably the second biggest win in the school's history.
Manzella cannot pick this one up. It's a base hit. And Schindler gives the Seahawks their first run.
Well, the Seahawks needed to come out swinging this inning to get a little bit momentum back on their side, and they do right there. Mole just throws that fastball right down the middle, and looked like maybe Manzella overran it a little bit. Manzella was there in time, but the ball rolled between his glove and his body.
Schindler with Zimmerman at the plate. May be a candidate to run here. Schindler is 4 out of 5 on the base paths. Bormaster, considered one of the best catchers in America, goes to the mound to settle the youngster Mole.
4 teams from the state of Louisiana in NCAA regional play. Southern won today, LSU won. Tulane's playing right now. The 4th team, McNeese State, the Cowboys lost 3-2 to Rice in 10 innings. And that game, that regional is being played at Rice over in Houston, Texas. The Cowboys played very well, but came up just a little bit short as the Rice Owls won 3-2 in 10.
McNeese came from 6th place in the regular Southland Conference season to win the tournament. And the regular season winner, Lamar, was a victor today over Arkansas, right?
Lamar won. They knocked off Arkansas 3-2 in the regional in Austin, Texas. Alabama, the Crimson Tide, won 9-3 over Houston. And Crimson Tide continue to play a hot brand of baseball after they swept 4 straight at the SEC tournament in Hoover, Alabama.
Isn't it neat when you have an opportunity to reverse a 2-9 slide at the end of the year and then go 5-0 in postseason?
Jim Wells' club struggled down the stretch during the regular season, but managed to turn it on like seems like they always do at the SEC tournament.
Pitch out. The action starts at 11 a.m. tomorrow here on the Jumbo Sports Network. Northeastern will play the loser of this game. The loser of that one tomorrow goes home. And the 2 winners of today will play at 3 tomorrow. LSU has moved into that slot, and either Tulane or North Carolina Wilmington will be the opponent. The winner of tomorrow's first game and the loser of the second game meet at 7:30 tomorrow night. And that will be an elimination game. So the pressure gets ratcheted up a bit on Saturday. Two and two on Zimmerman. Schindler has stretched his lead, and there he goes. Zimmerman fouls it away.
Well, the Green Wave knew that he was going to go. It was just a matter of when, and a little cat and mouse game going on between Rick Jones and Mark Scaff.
Runner breaks again. The 2-2 pitch is low. Bormaster's throw is a wide one. And Schindler moves to scoring position with 2 outs. He has stolen 5 times. He's been caught once now.
Schindler with a pretty good lead and being aggressive. Throw on the wrong side of the bag. They may have had him had Bormaster's throw been on the right side, but still a pretty good jump, as you mentioned, off Mole. And that's UNCW baseball. They will steal at any point, play a lot of hit and run, and apply the pressure. And right now they smell a potential big inning, and they're trying to put pressure on the freshman Mole and distract him a little bit by stealing bases.
So there are 2 outs, but a run in and a couple aboard. And Aaron Smith is getting ready to hit. You see Goebel warming up for Tulane. He's the right-hander there. Chad Suter walks out to talk with Billy Mole. The inning started when Wright singled. Hemingway was thrown out on a spinning gobble of a ground ball by Manzella. And then Sutton hit one hard, and Aubrey turned a fine play in behind the bag. Without those 2 sterling defensive plays, this could be a big inning for North Carolina. Schindler singled, and Zimmerman has walked. Chad
Suter jogging out to have a word with Mole and calm him down. He was an excellent leader and catcher. The son of great pitcher Bruce Suter, who was one of my favorite pitchers growing up. The great closer for the St. Louis Cardinals. Had that split finger fastball, which was kind of in vogue in the 80s, especially the mid-80s.
I think Suter did more to popularize that split finger pitch than any other guy.
Well, that's because he could throw it better than anybody else.
Manzella gets an easy chance. That retires the side. But the Seahawks break through on singles by Wright and an RBI base hit by Schindler. We have played 3.5. It's 2-1 Tulane. Two in the third for the Green Wave. Wilmington gets 1 in the fourth. North Carolina trails 2-1. Although it has out-hit Tulane 4-3. The place was packed in game 1, and there's a very healthy crowd on hand for the nightcap, and it is considerably cooler. A few LSU fans mingling for a while with the Tulane folks. But the lines will be drawn tomorrow if the 2 rivals meet in the afternoon game.
A lot of LSU fans who have bought up all the NCAA books that you could sell. They're here checking out the competition. Baseball fans in Baton Rouge, the LSU fans, and baseball fans throughout the state of Louisiana just enjoy college baseball and appreciate the game. And they're watching 2 good teams in Tulane and UNCW do battle.
Brian Bormaster with a count of 2-1.
I know Rick Jones for the Green Wave, I'm sure, was not happy about coming to Baton Rouge to participate in the regional here. I mean, Tulane and Southern both have been in Baton Rouge a lot over the years and wanted to, try their luck someplace else. And Southern was able to do that, and of course won today against Southern Miss. And for the Green Wave, they were hoping and thought really that they would not come to Baton Rouge, but the NCAA put them in this regional, and the Green Wave will do battle.
That's hit sharply up the middle. Smith gets up, throws from a knee, and Wright couldn't make the play at first base. That'll go as a base hit. Smith did his part, but Wright could not hold on at first.
You see ball hit back up the middle, a nice play and a great effort. That ball should have been caught.
Boy, he looked like Ozzie Smith on that one.
Well, he got to his feet, and that was a very catchable ball over there at first base.
So Bormaster reaches on the infield hit. And Johnny Kaplan bats. He's been aboard twice. He was nicked by a pitch, and he hit one into the left field bleachers.
Johnny Kaplan, not a big guy, but he's got 10 home runs on the season. That's second on the team. That's very good production from the leadoff spot in your lineup.
He actually had gone down and batted cleanup for a few games in the middle of the year. But he is more comfortable at number 1.
Well, he's going to see a lot more fastballs at number 1, which obviously helps. Every hitter wants to see a lot of fastballs. And then the fact that he can run so well, he's got 47 stolen bases.
That's under the glove of Denson. Kaplan is 2 for 2. He's been on base 3 times. So the senior fireball continues to get it done at the top of the order.
Kaplan 5'9", 186 pounds. And always plays big in big games. Ball left out over the outside corner, and he goes and gets it and pulls it in between third and short for his second hit of the night.
Matt Carter came on with the bases loaded in the third and retired Southard and Brumby and drew a line in the sand, but he has allowed a couple of base hits here in the fourth. And now it's Giarratano. Deep to left. He has room in front of the warning track. And there's out number 1. Well, if you're looking ahead from an LSU standpoint, Nate Bumstead is scheduled to get the start tomorrow for the Tigers, regardless of the opponent.
LSU took a little bit of a gamble today by throwing Jake Tompkins, who hadn't pitched in a couple of weeks and who had a little bit of a sore shoulder, didn't throw it all in the SEC tournament. But he threw well, they got the win, and now LSU is going to go with their ace, Nate Bumstead, tomorrow against the winner of Tulane and UNC Wilmington. So as we talked to Brady Wiederhold, the LSU pitching coach, at the end of the game earlier today, on paper, LSU set up nicely with their top 3 starters ready to go.
It will be interesting to see how it unfolds. They've got Detterman, who pitched well in the first SEC win in the tournament. And, of course, Bumstead, Meyer, Pettit. The bullpen for LSU is a question mark. 2-0 pitch to Aubrey is high and tight, and they aren't giving this fellow anything good to hit. He has walked twice and scored a run.
Aubrey out of Shreveport, Louisiana, played at Southwood High School. And when he came to Tulane, was a very good pitcher as well. Won a game in the 2001 Super Regional.
Line to the second baseman, and he gets Bormaster off the bag at second for the double play. Zimmerman to Smith. The rally is snuffed out. 2-1 Tulane on the Jumbo Sports Network.
Well, the Jambalaya Shop is one of the proud sponsors here on the Jumbo Sports Network, help bringing the Super Regional to you across the state. 7 locations, 5 in Baton Rouge and 1 at Prairieville, Gonzales, 1 down in New Orleans at the One Shell Center on Poydras Avenue. Got a new location open up down in New Orleans. Jambalaya Shop, the best jambalaya for all your catering needs, or if you don't feel like cooking, want to pick up something on the way home, check out a Jambalaya Shop location near you.
Pat Murphy scheduled to hit first in the 5th. The North Carolina catcher bounced out to Giarratano in the 3rd. Mole, the freshman, starts him with a low pitch. Mole out of Sugar Land, Texas. That jammed him, and it's a foul ball. Murphy is hitting just over 300, but no homers this year. He's not been the everyday catcher, and he knocks this one into right, a base hit. That's 5 hits allowed by Mole. All of them have been singles. And the Tulane bullpen gets busy again.
Here you see a fastball just left over the middle of the plate. Mole was trying to go for the outside corner, but it leaked back over the middle. And UNCW starting to swing the bat a lot better the last inning.
At the plate for the Seahawks, third baseman Brandon Denson.
Green Wave have some action up in their bullpen, and this is a game that, Lynn, I think is going to go down to the wire. Two teams that are pretty evenly matched. Tulane with a little bit more firepower. There's Matt Goebel throwing down in the Tulane bullpen.
He's another one of those youngsters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of freshmen, North Carolina Wilmington has 10 freshmen on the roster, and all of them come from the home state. That's a foul ball. That ball bounced up and hit Denson, but the plate umpire has ruled he was in foul territory. Or at least still in the batter's box. That's out of the reach of Brumby. 2 strikes on Brad Denson. You know, this North Carolina Wilmington team 2 years ago, Ronnie, in 2001, hit only 14 home runs the entire year. And they made a change in their offensive philosophy. They brought in batting coach Randy Hood. He's in his 2nd year now, and it's made a world of difference with the North Carolina attack.
Well, you look at UNC Wilmington's team, they've got 2 players with 10 each, Hemingway and Sutton. So
the 0-2 pitch is bunted. And Aubrey came off the bag. That's going to be an error, and I don't know against whom it will be charged. We'll see. Mole thought about letting it roll foul, which would have been a strikeout on the 0-2 pitch.
you see the ball is bunted up the line. Mole is going to step into foul territory to make the throw, and it may have nicked the runner a little bit.
That's going to be a throwing error, and I think you're right. I think it tipped.
I think it nicked the back of the runner.
So it's a sacrifice, but an error on the pitcher on the throw. And there are 2 men aboard now. Murphy at second, Denson on first, and here is Grawey, the top of the order. He wants to bunt and lets it pass.
So there you see UNC Wilmington bunting with 2 strikes on the batter. A lot of teams let the hitter hit away in that situation, but Mark Scaff wants to get that down. He wants to sacrifice the runner at second, and even with 2 strikes, he had Denson bunting.
And they feel very good about their bullpen. The word is that North Carolina Wilmington is very deep and very solid in the bullpen. This North Carolina team hit .295 this year. Great improvement over a couple of years ago, and they whacked 58 homers as opposed to only 14 the entire season in 2001.
Well, Chad Suter out to the mound again. He's got Goebel ready to go. This is a big point in the ball game. He's going out there to give him one more come on, let's go get him kind of talk, because runners at first and second, no outs, 2-0 on the hitter. So, you know, Mole's got to get really tough right here. He can ill afford a walk or a free pass.
North Carolina has not hit him hard, but they've done just enough to keep the pressure alive. And there are 2 men aboard with nobody out in a 1-run ball game. A lot of teams that have good wheels will double steal in this opportunity. You figure you're always going to get at least the guy to second base.
On UNC Wilmington with over 100 stolen bases on the year.
Oh boy, well hit. Kaplan back on the run. Right fielder against the wall makes the catch. Bogusevic goes to the warning track and hauls in the drive. Rowe gave it a ride, but Bogusevic caught up with it on the warning track. A very nice play by the right fielder.
Well, Mole gets away with one right here. 2-0 pitch, throws it right down the middle. Not much you can do. 2-0, and Bogusevic comes up with it, makes the big out.
Matt Murphy alertly took third on the deep drive. Runners on the corners for Matt Wright.
Well, now Matt Wright trying to do the same thing and get a fly ball to the outfield.
One gone. Runners at first and third. Wright hit it sharply in the first, but bounced into a double play. He singled and scored in the fourth. There's Denson at first. Murphy is ahead of him at third. Wow. Little skip step was the only thing that enabled the first base coach to get out of the way uninjured. That's a little cha-cha down there in the first base coaching box. Man. Murphy singled to open the inning. Denson sacrificed and reached on the pitcher's throwing error. Rowe fly deep to right.
Mole keeping Denson close. Denson with 5 stolen bases on the season, which is not a bunch compared to some of his teammates, but this may be a running situation, particularly to stay out of a double play.
Not going. High fly ball. This is plenty deep enough to get the run in from third. Kaplan's got it. Murphy scores, and we are brand new.
Well, the Seahawks down 2-0. Battle back to tie it against the Green Wave.
That's a scrappy bunch right there.
In UNCW, they were known for years for their pitching. Always had very good team earned run averages. But now the offense has caught up to the pitching, and that's why they finally made their first NCAA regional.
Here's Jamie Hemingway with a runner at first base and 2 outs. A slow curve is over but low. This is one dangerous hombre right here.
The Triple Crown leader for the Seahawks.
Good off-speed curve, and Hemingway leaped out of his shoes to take a
hack.
whack at it.
He took a hack, didn't he? He didn't get cheated on that one. Hemingway can do it at the plate, and also made a real nice running catch earlier in the ball game to deep center.
The only thing he doesn't do is write novels. The runner goes. Hemingway pops it foul. Boormaster won't have room.
You know, back in 2001, my younger brother, only brother, Gus, was a member of the UNC Wilmington Seahawks, a pitcher.
Well, that's why he didn't win many games. They only hit 14 home runs behind him. They never got any runs for him.
They have made some changes since then. I mean, of course, Mark Scaff has been there for a number of years, but all new assistants since 2001. Randy Hood in his second season.
Runner breaks. Shot to the right side. Manzella is wrong-footed for a moment, but he catches up. And Hemingway is retired for the third time on groundouts. A run in the inning. And we are brand new in the middle of the fifth on the Jumbo Sports Network. North Carolina Wilmington has picked up single markers in the fourth and fifth, matching Tulane's 2 spot in the third. We play in the bottom of the fifth from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's a lovely Friday night, and we are delighted to be with you on the Jumbo Sports Network. We hope you're having fun in your neighborhood sports bar, in your living room, or wherever you may be watching. Along with Ronnie Rance, I'm Lynn Rollins. Swackhammer takes a strike. Wes fly to left in the first. He walked and was stranded at third in the third when Matt Carter came out of the bullpen and worked out of a bases-loaded hot spot. All right, Mr. Rance, we've had a drought in terms of scores and a lot of them to give, so just jump right on in.
Well, of course, as we mentioned earlier, Southern with the big win of the day knocked off Southern Miss 5-3. For you SEC fans, Florida lost to Florida Atlantic 4-3.
Swackhammer strokes that one up the middle.
Arkansas lost 3-2. So both Arkansas to Lamar. So Arkansas and Florida both lost out of the SEC today. Some winners from the Southeastern Conference. South Carolina beat East Carolina 4-0. As we look at Swackhammer hammer that ball back up the middle. Some other scores from the SEC. Alabama beat Houston 9-3. Of course, LSU won 11-8 over Northeastern earlier today. And some other SEC scores. Mississippi State leads Middle Tennessee 10-4 in the eighth.
Hemingway drifting to his left, takes the fly ball off Bogusevic's bat, 1 out. Alabama was out in front of Princeton in the late innings by 3 or 4 runs.
Well, I'm sorry, you're referring to Auburn.
I'm sorry, yes, Auburn in its own park.
Auburn's leading Princeton 4-1 in the top of the eighth in Auburn, Alabama. And Ole Miss and Wichita State are tied up at 1 apiece in the top of the sixth.
It doesn't do good to get Auburn and Alabama mixed up, does it?
No. They will make sure you know the difference.
One on, 1 out. Swackhammer at first. Tommy Manzella has been aboard twice. He has singled and was hit on the wrist by a pitch. North Carolina's bullpen is getting busy again.
Some other notable games. The Sun Belt Conference got a victory, although I don't know how New Mexico State's in the Sun Belt, but being that they're in New Mexico. But they beat UNLV 14-12 in 11 innings.
Swackhammer moves up on a wild pitch.
There you see the wild pitch. Breaking ball that just kept breaking. Almost ran out of the left-handed hitter's batter's box.
That would have been a left side gutter ball, wouldn't it? That may have wound up in the next lane.
He ran out of lane on that one. We mentioned earlier New Mexico State knocking off UNLV 14-12 in 11 innings.
That's a foul ball past Rick Smith down in the third base box.
And the head coach for UNLV's former Tulane assistant Jim Schlossnagel, who was a recruiting guy and pitching coach for the Greenies for a while, and was the assistant coach when the Greenway went to the World Series in 2001, and he got the job, and this is his second season at UNLV, and has them in a regional. And has a famous player, Fernando Valenzuela, one of his sons plays for the Rebels.
Fernando probably has some eligibility left himself.
Well, I'm sure he if he has a birth certificate at all, it definitely says that he's got eligibility.
Pretty good fastball there. He heated it up by Manzella. All right, quick quiz. Who's the most famous pitcher to come out of UNLV?
Whew. Most famous pitcher to come out of UNLV. You got me.
Plays for the Braves. Lives in Las Vegas. Greg Maddux.
That's a pretty good one.
That's what I'm told anyway.
You sure he played at UNLV?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm told he still supports the program well.
Well, he can afford to.
Yes, he can.
That's for sure. I would think Jim Schlossnagle would make that call.
A runner at second base representing the go-ahead run for Tulane. That's Swackhammer. One out here in the fifth. That bender did not break.
Up and in.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Green Wave a base hit away from taking the lead here in the bottom of the fifth.
The outfield is pretty shallow and a little bit toward right, especially the center fielder Hemingway. Fastball hit that way. Snared by Zimmerman, but he cannot get to his feet and make a play.
Well, Zimmerman made a half of a great play. He kept it on the infield, which prevented a run. But he had plenty of time to get up to give it a chance at first and maybe get Manzella. His ball's hit so hard, and then he just can't grab hold of the baseball. Manzella hits it a ton back up the middle. A fantastic play by Zimmerman, but then he just can't get a hold of the ball to gather himself and make the throw. But he does prevent a run by keeping the ball in the infield.
Now the Green Wave has options with Swackhammer at third and Manzella at first. 1 out. Nathan Southard is the hitter. He was the first Tulane batter that Carter faced in the third, and he struck him out. Ball 1. Brad Overton lasted 2 1/3 innings. It's been Matt Carter since then. But there is bullpen activity. That is Chris Coughlin. LSU won the first game 11-8, getting out in front by a big lead and then holding on. There's a strike. Southard is out of Luling, Louisiana. And he played high school ball at Rummel. That's upstairs. Southard, a very good student, a member of the National Honor Society, earned the Christian Leadership Award at Rummel.
UNC Wilmington, they spending a lot of time worrying about the Tulane runners. Both teams run well, and there's a lot of head games going on between the two coaches. Pitchers are throwing over, throwing a bunch of fakes. We've seen pitch outs, bunts.
There's Rick Jones hoping he'll get a chance to wave those arms. Southard gives it a ride. Grawey back near the wall. It's off the wall, fielded by Hemingway, and it goes as a single. Well, everybody had to hold their breath to see if that ball would be caught. Grawey couldn't get it. It bounced off the wall into Hemingway's hands. He returned it to the infield. Swackhammer scored. Manzella had to stop at second base, and Southard gets the RBI single on a 365-footer.
Well, Southern hits this ball straight up, and it just continues to carry in this Alec Box jet stream here with the wind blowing out.
And he's going, okay, where is it? What do I do?
And Groy's just drifting and drifting and drifting and runs out of room. The wind is really fooling the outfielders right there. You know, Groy was kind of, whenever you see an outfielder turn his back to the fence like that, usually that means they're camped under it, but he just kept backpedaling and drifting, and then he ran into the wall. The wind playing havoc in left field.
Turner Brumby hits to Denson. Safe at second base. The throw was too tall for Zimmerman. A throwing error on Denson on what could have been a double play.
Yeah, that's the kind of break that the Green Wave have been looking for. This is a sure one. I mean, he could have touched third base. He could have touched the runner going to third. Tried to throw it to second to maybe turn two and wound up throwing the ball high, and the Seahawks got nothing.
Brumby reaches on the fielder's choice. Southern is safe on a throwing error. Manzella is at third, and here is Bormaster.
And that's the second error of the game for UNC Wilmington.
Ball one on a slider. Bormaster reached on an infield hit and fouled out. Matt Carter facing a bases-loaded jam for the second time in 3 innings. 1-1 on the Tulane catcher, Bormaster.
Well, over 3,500 in attendance here at Alec Box Stadium for tonight's game. Over 7,300 tickets sold.
Bormaster's freshman season was spent at Rice when he played second base, third base, and left field. He had 16 starts as a true freshman at Rice. Rick Jones wanting to get busy in the third base coaching box.
One of the few head coaches that actually coaches in the third base box. More and more you're seeing assistants call the signals and wave runners home, but Rick Jones, Ron Polk, another from Mississippi State.
I don't think there's a dugout big enough to hold Rick Jones as much pacing as he does.
Oh, he's a pacer, yeah. He's got to like playing at Zephyr Field in New Orleans because their dugout's about 50 yards long.
Hit slowly to the left side. Smith back to first. Double play. The Green Wave get one out of it. We move on. Tulane leads. Three to 2 Tulane, but it could have been worse as Bormaster bounces into this double play to end the inning.
Very nice turn after UNCW kind of blew a double play opportunity. They make a good one right there. Well, the Sheraton Hotel and Convention Center of Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge's only downtown full-service hotel connected to the Sheraton Argosy Atrium and Argosy Casino. They've got free shuttle service to and from the Baton Rouge Airport. The Sheraton Hotel and Convention Center in downtown Baton Rouge.
Well, it's Sutton and Schneider, or rather Schindler and Zimmerman, and Tim Guidry has moved in to play third for Tulane. There's Tim Guidry. That's pretty well stroked to left, but Southern retreats, and he's got it in front of the dirt. One pitch and one gone. Mole has done a very nice job of taking care of the 3 and 4 hole hitters. They have not been on base. Hemingway and Sutton, between them, they've got 20 homers and about 100 RBI. But they have not been a factor offensively. Schindler fly to center, and he singled in a run in the 4th.
Well, the Seahawks trying to answer Tulane's run in the bottom of the 5th, which put the Greenies on top.
Guess who else is winning in Hattiesburg? Southern beat the home team today, and Murray State is leading by a run over top-seeded Baylor late in the game. Wouldn't that be something if the 3 and 4 seeds meet in the winner's bracket tomorrow?
Southern and Murray State possibly. That would be interesting.
There's a rope to left. Schindler has a couple of base hits. He wants to get a pair out of it, and he'll make it easily. That is the first extra base hit for North Carolina today. 5 singles and that double.
This ball hit hard. Again, just left over the middle. These hitters are seeing a lot of good pitches, especially from Mole, who doesn't want to walk you. So rather than try to nibble for the corner, he'd rather throw it down the middle and take his chances.
I think they may have ruled, no, they did not rule an error on that. It is a double by Schindler. Here is Zimmerman with a runner in scoring position.
We did get a final with the Mississippi State Regional in Starkville. The Bulldogs did win 10-4 over Middle Tennessee. So in that regional, North Carolina beat Missouri 4-3 in 11 innings. So tomorrow, Mississippi State and North Carolina will meet in the winner's bracket. UNCW beat North Carolina, shut them out in Chapel Hill this year in one of the games they played.
Aubrey has to leave his feet to field the hopper. He gets Zimmerman with the toss to Mole. There are 2 outs. Schindler is at third base.
It's a little bit of a close play at first base. Michael Aubrey makes a nice job. A little bit of a high flip. Mole slow in getting over. And that play wound up being a little closer than it should have been.
Aubrey has the advantage of having pitched, so he knows what it's like to cover first base from the mound.
Michael Aubrey will be drafted extremely high as a first baseman, but maybe could have had a nice career as a pitcher too. Did have a little bit of an arm injury in year 2 as a sophomore and kind of decided just to focus on hitting. But coming out of high school, a two-way player, and was a very good pitcher his freshman year for Tulane, and as we mentioned earlier, won a couple of NCAA games.
We've got a brand new ball game. Smith just laid the barrel of the bat on it and poked it to right. Well, they just keep applying the pressure, don't they, these Seahawks?
Seahawks get their 7th hit of the night. Tulane's got 8. And the Seahawks answer right after Tulane took the lead. They come out swinging this inning, and that's what you've got to do against Mole. He's not going to walk you, so if you want to win the game, you've got to earn it. And Goebel's the same way, and he's warming up in the bullpen for Tulane. He's going to throw strikes as well.
Back to the screen, a wild pitch. Smith is in scoring position. Boy, you know, you look at these Seahawks, they all look like they're about 14 years old. And they're having some fun in their first NCAA regional appearance. It's a ball club that just keeps applying pressure. They've got good pitching.
The ball just stuck in his hand. No chance for Bormaster. And Chad Suter's going to come out again to the mound.
This is at least the 3rd visit in the game. And the whole infield gets together.
Suter trying to be the master motivator out there. Get on as freshman. His teammates are trying to give him words of encouragement, and they want him to go as long as he possibly can.
But Tulane is in pretty good shape in the bullpen as well.
There's UNCW getting ready down there, but on the other side for the Green Wave, they've got Goebel, who's been throwing, and he's ready to go.
Well, Pat Murphy can give the Seahawks their first lead. Two and 0. We're in the 6th. Thank you for joining us on the Jumbo Sports Network. The 2003 regional coverage continues from Baton Rouge. 3 games tomorrow and the championship game or games on Sunday. There's Aaron Smith. He singled in a run here in the 6th. He's at second base with 2 outs. 3 and he's at second. It's pretty well pitched. And both of these teams are just grinding it out right now.
This game will go down to the wire. You've got 2 teams that are very similar. Maybe the edge in the bullpen might go a tad to UNCW, but Tulane has the experience, especially Sharon down there, who pitched on many a big game.
Boy, that's a guy LSU does not want to face.
If you would have seen the pitching matchup on paper where freshman Mole against the senior Overton today with the gaudy numbers, you would have thought that would have benefited the Seahawks, but Overton just never could find his command. He was all over the place. And he left in the 3rd inning, whereas Mole has been throwing strikes.
And he comes back and gets Pat Murphy from way back in the count. The Seahawks get a double by Schindler, a single by Smith. We are tied again. Well, Will Hunt has come out of the bullpen. This left-hander has Ronnie Rance-like numbers.
Yeah, I wish. Those are not mistakes. 0.58 earned run average for Will Hunt. 2-1 record, 13 walks, 34 strikeouts, and that's in 31 innings. Opponents are only hitting 175 against Will Hunt. And this young man is only a freshman.
And he's only given up 4 extra base hits the entire year. 1 homer. So Will Hunt, with 22 appearances prior to this one and a 0.58 ERA, takes the hill. He'll work against Kaplan.
Will Hunt, 6'3", 205-pound freshman out of Holly Springs, North Carolina.
Kaplan sends it to Smith. He'll have to hurry. Wright was able to hold on to the bag long enough.
He's worked exclusively this year in short relief, 20 appearances, and he's only thrown 31 innings. So it's
generally an inning or 2 at the most for Hunt this year.
But what pretty impressive numbers. What a fantastic freshman year he has had. And the Seahawks have put one of their best on the mound.
Well, he gets Kaplan for the first time today. Johnny was 2 for 2 before that ground out. Here's Giarratano, who's nothing out of 2 with a walk. And there's a strike.
And that name, Will Hunt, familiar to LSU baseball fans, is Will Hunt, the Tiger, played in 1992 and 93, was a first baseman and then relief pitcher for the Tigers.
Well, it's too bad that this guy does not pitch for Northeastern, because then we could say that dog will hunt. They being the Huskies.
Excellent.
You know, punsters should be drawn and quoted. 3-3 ball game. Neither team has been able to run away from the other one tonight. Giarratano has played as an opposite field swinger. He's got a whole target in left center field to aim for, and he runs up on it. Brad Overton started. Matt Carter pitched 2 2/3 innings, allowing 5 hits and 1 run. Overton gave up 2 runs on 3 hits, but he was wild and was constantly in trouble. Wright gives way to Simmerman. He makes the catch in fair ground. And there are 2 outs. Kaplan and Giarratano are down. There is Hemingway, the center fielder. He plays most people very shallow. He's got a lot of confidence in his ability to run and get them. He backs up some on Aubrey, but he'll not play as deep as some. Aubrey has walked twice and lined into a double play.
We'll see what Hunt's made of right here.
Zimmerman could have gotten in front of it and misplayed it. That ball could have been taken conventionally, but he elected to backhand it, and he paid for it.
That's the 3rd error of the night for the Seahawks. And those kinds of plays need to be made in order to stop this very hot-hitting Tulane team.
See, right there, he had an easy chance to get in front of it.
Aubrey hit it well, and I think Zimmerman caught in between. Do I backhand it? Do I try to get in front of it? And he didn't do either.
It's interesting the way that Aubrey is being held at first. There's Wright in front of him. They don't think Aubrey will run, but this guy can motor. Ronnie, I'm surprised Aubrey hasn't run getting a lead that big on his own. Wright is playing in front of him and then sort of dancing back a little bit, but Aubrey has a huge walk-off from first base.
Well, the first baseman's in front of the runner, but he'll shuffle back
a little bit
when Hunt pitches.
Well, he was playing it perfectly, wasn't he? Wright was in the right place at the right time. Swackhammer rolls out. We roll on. It's 3-3. Freshman Matt Goebel is on the mound now for Tulane. 8 up, 4 down, 5.98 earned run average. He has struck out 3 times as many as he's walked this year. Matt Goebel out of Austin, Texas. And so starter Billy Mole went 6 solid innings. He is lifted here as we get to the 7th. Today's game on the Jumbo Sports Network is brought to you in part by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. By State Farm Insurance and State Farm Financial Products. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Clico, winner of a National Emergency Response Award following Hurricane Lily. By Abita Beer, the best tasting beer in Louisiana. And by Wright and Percy Insurance. Well, one freshman gives way to another on the mound for Tulane. Boy, that's showing a lot of faith in your youngsters, isn't it?
Well, the Tulane freshmen were responsible for 28 of the Greenway's 40 regular season wins. So, I mean, I think when you get to this point of the season and you've pitched as much as they have, they're not freshmen anymore.
Giarratano cannot make the play. He was set up to gun it, but it popped out of his glove. And Denson is aboard.
Chopper in the hole. Giarratano, look, he's going to get it and throw him out, but took his eye off the ball. Tried to make the throw before he had it. Giarratano, a junior from Marlboro, New Jersey.
Well, you talk about 2/3 of Tulane's wins basically coming from the freshmen, so they certainly have earned the right and the confidence of the Tulane coaching staff. Now it's the top of the order for Grawey. Denson is at first base, following the second error of the game on Tulane. We're in the 7th. It's a 3-3 matchup. The winner plays LSU tomorrow at 3. The loser gets up early. Guidry cannot make a play. That'll be a base hit. A perfectly placed bunt by Grawey.
Well, that's about as good a bunt as you will ever see. Tulane knows it's coming. Grawey lays it down perfectly. Big hop, and then it's got a little backspin, it looks like, on it, and deadens at no man's land. That's an excellent bunt.
Chad Suter has found his way to the mound tonight plenty, hasn't he? He's out there again, and Rick Jones feels that acid start to boil in his belly.
Well, Rick Jones is going to go to the pen in a hurry, and he's going to go get Sharon, who's been an excellent reliever for the Green Wave for a number of years. Or actually, yeah, that is Sharon, Joey Sharon.
So Matt Goebel pitches to only 2 batters. Denson reached on an error. Grawey bunted his way aboard. And Joey Sharon, who can paralyze you with the off-speed stuff, is on the mound. Joey Sharon's record is 3-7, but that's a bit deceiving. Look at that earned run average, 2.76. He's a guy who can be very useful to you in many roles. 27 walks, 65 strikeouts.
Joey Sharon hasn't started any games this year. Matter of fact, hasn't started since 2001, but has been fantastic. This is his 38th appearance of the year. That's an amazing number, considering he only played 56 regular season games in college baseball, plus 3-4 in the year tournament. So Joey Sharon appears in more than half of Tulane's games this year and has a 2.76 earned run average. Opponents are only batting 176 against Joey Sharon.
58 2/3 innings. He has allowed only 35 hits. Well, does Wright bunt here? You've got 2 aboard, nobody out. It hit Guidry, the bases are loaded. Guidry was trying to get out of the way, it appeared. It looked like that ball may take a left turn into foul territory.
Big time mistake by Guidry, because this ball is probably going to roll foul, but even if it doesn't roll foul, you've got no chance to make a play anyway. It's a base hit, so just let it roll foul. Guidry can't decide at the last second.
That's going to be a bunt base hit as it caromed off Guidry. So nothing has rolled out of the infield here, and yet the Seahawks have the bases loaded and nobody out for Hemingway, and he's due. He has bounced out 3 times. The pitch is a strike. And Joey Sharon, who's been in these situations many times before, knows what's ahead of him. Denson, Grawey, and Wright aboard.
Now the best pitcher for Tulane against the best hitter for UNC Wilmington.
Look at that changeup. I don't think Hemingway has seen many of those of that quality this year.
Well, that's a fantastic changeup, and when it's on, that's what makes him so good. Is that tailing action away from right-handers.
3 pitches and 1 out.
Even when you know it's coming, there's nothing you can do about it. Sharon and probably Nate Bumstead for LSU have 2 of the best changeups in college baseball. Everybody knows that they're going to throw it, but you still can't hit it.
Let me throw one other guy out there. Andy Grove, just down the road for ULL. So 1 gone. Sharon fights off 1 match point. Sutton 0 for 3. If Sharon can get out of this one, he deserves the Houdini Award. And he is capable of doing it. Well, he's humped up a couple of times on Sutton.
Well, Sutton right there, you know, looking for the changeup, and then Sharon's got enough RPMs to get it by you. He reared back and threw it as hard as he had and snuck it past Sutton.
It could be a pair. Giarratano, Manzella, Aubrey. Tulane prevents damage. What a job by Joey Sharon. It's still 3 apiece. Take a stretch with us in the 7th on the Jumbo Sports Network. Joey Sharon came out of the bullpen in the top of the inning, inherited a bases loaded environment with nobody out. And the Seahawks laid the egg in the 7th. Now it's Will Hunt on for his first complete inning of relief. A youngster with the earned run average of 0.58. Bogusevic, Manzella, and Southard. 1 away.
Well, you're getting a treat. You're getting a chance to see a couple of real good left-handed pitchers right now. Will Hunt for UNC Wilmington and Joey Sharon for Tulane. 2 of the better relief pitchers from the left side in college baseball. If you look at their numbers, Will Hunt's ERA 0.58, and Joey Sharon 2.76 earned run average, 12 saves. So a couple of real good ones doing battle.
Strike 1 to Manzella. The Seahawks have not retired him today. He's 2 for 2, and he's been hit by a pitch. That's out of the reach of Smith, and Manzella is 3 for 3. Hit number 9 for the Green Wave. The hits are even.
Manzella having quite a day. Rips that fastball left field. Kaplan and Manzella both having nice nights for the Green Wave.
Southern got a base hit in the 5th. That produced a run. One on, one out. Zimmerman, Smith, not in time, back at first base. Southern was motoring down the line to stay out of the double play.
Well, Hunt did his job. He got the ground ball. But Zimmerman's having a tough night at second base. He takes a long time getting that ball that got stuck up in the webbing. The ball bounced high, and Zimmerman had to catch it in the webbing of his glove, and it took him a while to make the exchange.
And now Tim Guidry will bat for the first time.
Will Hunt getting ground balls. Kind of slings the ball overhand. It's got like a heavy baseball. It's kind of tough to explain. Just it's kind of a, some guys have that, some don't. And looks like West is kind of, Hunt rather is one of those guys that just has a heavy baseball. Well, we got a second to tell you about a couple of other regional games. Little upset. Stetson, well, not a little one, a big upset. Stetson beats Georgia Tech 5-4.
Wow.
In Atlanta.
Boy, that's wearing a big hat, isn't it?
Georgia Tech is the host team, the #1 seed. So Stetson, the 4 seed, beats Georgia Tech, and I did get that, by the way. I'm not,
just not acknowledging
right.
it. I know.
Didn't want to elaborate, but I did get the reference. And in that same Atlanta regional earlier today, South Carolina beat East Carolina 4-0.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. It just misses.
Auburn did knock off Princeton 5-2, so that's a final.
Smith will make the play himself. Tulane leaves a runner aboard in the 7th. After 7 from Baton Rouge, it's 3 apiece in game 2.
Well, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, a proud sponsor here on the Jumbo Sports Network. Nothing fills you up like a Cane's box or cools you down like fresh squeezed homemade lemonade. Surround the bases at any one of the 12 South Louisiana locations of Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
You don't really need a script for that, do you?
No. Well, they've already got me. I'm trying to get the other people. I'm already, addicted to Raising Cane's.
What do they call that? A caniac?
Well, they've got a caniac combo, and it's kind of embarrassing. It's a lot of chicken. And
well, what's embarrassing about it?
Well, it's a lot. It's a lot of chicken. A lot of fries, a lot of chicken, a lot of great sauce. My little sister, Emily, over in Lafayette, her and her friends always go. They've got a couple new locations in Lafayette, and they go over there and eat a ton of it.
But one caniac feeds 4 of them.
Probably.
Jason Schindler has had a nice night. He has singled in a run. He has doubled and scored. He's 2 for 3. We play in the 8th in a 3-3 ball game. And a pair of darn good left-handers are opposing each other out of the bullpen. Joey Sharon pitching his first complete inning of relief, but he came on with the bases loaded in the 7th and got the job done. He struck out Hemingway on 3 changeups, and he got Sutton to bounce into a double play.
Well, this game's about as even as you can draw a baseball game up. 9 hits apiece, 3 runs apiece, and the 2 relievers are very similar. Left-handed and both very dominant.
Manzella hauls in the towering pop-up. So Schindler goes back to the bench with a 2 for 4 performance. It does extend his hitting streak to 8 straight. And here is Russ Zimmerman. He had a base hit in the 2nd. He has walked. He has bounced out. This North Carolina team last year thought it was well on its way to a high seeding in postseason. It won 34 of its first 45 games. They were 34-11. And then 6 starters over the next couple of weeks went down with injuries, and they hardly won a game after that. They finished 36-23. So they went 2-12 over the last 14 games and did not make the postseason. They were very disappointed after that, and this year they did break through to claim their first NCAA tournament berth.
UNC Wilmington has always been a team that has been close. They've always had a chance come May to maybe get into the NCAA tournament. And finally, Mark Scaff's team was able to do it, and 2 teams from the Colonial Conference. That ball's punched foul. Virginia Commonwealth is in the NCAA tournament, and they won today. VCU beat Western Carolina 6-0 in the regional over in Wilson, North Carolina. And, of course, Tiger fans remember a couple of years ago, VCU came to the box, actually beat LSU on regional Sunday, the 1 o'clock game that Sunday in 2001 in the sub-regional, forced LSU to play a second game to advance to the super regional, where LSU eventually lost to Tulane down at Zephyr Field. But so the Colonial Conference has been represented well over the years. East Carolina used to be in the Colonial Conference. They're no longer in either Conference USA now, but it's finally UNC Wilmington's chance.
Zimmerman is still alive. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And if you want to put a finger on maybe what's been the difference, it's obviously the hitting, because they've always been a very good pitch, a very good team on the mound. They've had some years where they were top 5 in the country as far as team ERA, but the difference has been now they can swing the bats through the lineup.
Jaron has fanned a couple now, 2 outs in the inning. Mole struck out 3 in 6 innings of work. He allowed 7 hits and 3 runs. Matt Goebel faced a couple of batters and didn't get anybody out. And it's been Joey Sharon who has been untouchable since he came on in the 7th. Aaron Smith knocked in a run in the 5th. And that was the game tire. The SEC so far has won 5 and dropped 2. There's 1 game in progress.
The 1 game still ongoing is Ole Miss. Ole Miss and Wichita State are playing, and Wichita State leads Ole Miss 4-2 in the top of the 8th.
So help me out here. LSU was a winner. Auburn was a winner. Alabama was a winner. That's 3 of the 5. Arkansas was a loser.
And Florida was a loser.
Who were the other winners? Mississippi State.
And South Carolina.
Okay. There's Rick Jones. He's been in a few wars. Kaplan on the move, but he can't get it, and neither can Bogusevic. The throw comes back to second base, and Smith is there safely.
Well,
no, they say he was. We're going to have a big discussion on this one.
There'll be an argument here. This ball ruled a catch in the outfield. You got the outfielder jumped up and threw to second to try to get the runner. So Mark Scaff definitely has an argument. Mark Scaff going out to have a word with second base umpire Joe Cacciatore.
Oh, that was definitely a bouncing ball. Oh my, they've ruled that an out. And that ball bounced 6 or 8 inches in front of the right fielder Bogusevic. It is on the ground right there. Each team has 3 hits, or rather 3 runs. Each team has 9 hits. And Tulane got a huge break on this ball, which was ruled a catch by the right fielder Bogusevic.
Well, that's one of the ones where the Tulane fans need to go to Joe Cacciatore after the game and thank him.
You know, the first base umpire really has a better angle on that because the second base umpire is looking directly at it. Anyway, we move on. They don't get them all right, about 99.5%.
Cacciatore from Waltham, Massachusetts.
Boormaster, 1 for 3 today.
A couple of umpires from Massachusetts on this crew. Nick Zabelli, the crew chief, who's over at first today, is from Carver, Mass.
That one finds left field for Boormaster, his second hit. Tulane now has reached double figures in hits with 10. Johnny Kaplan at the plate. He's been a tough guy to handle. He's been hit by a pitch. He has homered. He has singled. He's been retired once. Tulane has 9 singles and 1 extra base hit. Kaplan's 12th home run of the year, or make it his 10th home run of the year in the 3rd. That's trouble. Bormaster digging for 3rd. Rick Jones wanting him to get down, and he does. The ball caroms off of Bormaster and rolls into the dugout. He will be awarded the plate. It's a double by Kaplan, and an error has allowed Tulane's lead run to come across. So the baseball lords have smiled on the green wave in the 8th.
Well, 4 errors now by Wilmington has done in the Seahawks. Right here, this ball's got to just be kept on the infield.
Denson went sliding over. He knew that ball was headed into no man's land, but he couldn't keep it from going into the dugout. It's a double, a throwing error on the left fielder, Grawley. No RBI, but Tulane takes the lead 4-3. Giarratano is up 0 out of 3. Fine fortune has smiled on Tulane in this inning.
The Green Wave have gotten not only the big break on the out call at second, which prevented a double, and on the ball hit to right field, which prevented a double and an opportunity for the Seahawks to maybe score and take the lead. But now, the ball coming in from left field may have nicked the runner sliding into 3rd, too. Either way, the ball lands in the dugout, and the Green Wave get a gift-wrapped run.
The infield is drawn tight with a runner at 3rd.
Giarratano trying to walk off a freaky little play, swing, and fouled the ball off him. It looked like he hit himself either with the bat or the ball hit him, and he's kind of limping around the dish a little bit.
Tony's had 87 base hits this year.
Another run right here would really make the Green Wave feel like they caught a big break, because when you send Sharon out to close the 9th with a 2-run lead, the Green Wave have to feel pretty good about that opportunity.
And they'll get another one on that chopper over Simmerman's head. So Giarratano's 88th hit of the year produces his 41st RBI. Only 2 Green Wave players have more hits than Tony Giarratano. Kaplan has 91, or make it 93 now with 3 today. And the next batter, Aubrey, has 97 of them, none today.
Now a little visit, and this is maybe a little bit of a delay to give the bullpen an opportunity to get going, because Will Hunt has a guy who in 20 appearances this year only pitched 31 innings, so they're asking a lot of Will Hunt to continue here.
He has allowed 3 consecutive base hits, 1 to Bormaster, 1 to Kaplan, 1 to Giarratano.
Hunt has thrown 2 innings. So far, and that's about the most he does. Breaking ball just missed to Aubrey.
I think Michael was kind of thankful over that one. He looked like, yeah, that was pretty close.
Real close.
Aubrey has walked twice, lined into a double play, and reached on an error.
Chris Coughlin is warming up in the UNC Wilmington bullpen.
There he is. Aubrey had the green light.
Wow. That's a sign of a coach believing in his All-American right there. Rick Jones turns him loose, 3-0. Got a 2-run lead. I guess why not give Michael Aubrey an opportunity to hit one out of the ballpark.
Runner breaks. Aubrey shoots one up the middle. His first base hit. Giarratano on his way to third. He'll stop right there. Well, that's why Michael Aubrey is hitting over 400.
Well, Michael Aubrey's a great hitter, but when you fall behind 3-0, 3-1, it makes him even better. And that was a no-win situation right here. 3-1, he just comes at him with a fastball. It's actually not a bad pitch, down and away, but Aubrey goes and gets it because he's looking dead red fastball and lines it back up the middle.
So 4 consecutive base hits off Hunt here in the 8th have produced 2 runs and potential for more. And here is Swackhammer. Wes is 1 for 3 today.
The catcher Pat Murphy stepped in front of the plate to signal some first and third defense, but now we're going to have a little trip to the mound.
And we'll have a pitching change right here, I believe.
He hasn't signaled yet. I think he wants to talk to his infield about how they're going to handle a potential steal situation. You know, UNC Wilmington can ill afford to allow an extra run. They're already down 2, and they have to face one of the best relievers in the country in Sharon. So they want to make sure they know how they're going to defense Aubrey getting started over at first base.
And now the call is made, so they will work the right-handed pitcher against Swackhammer.
Scott Jackson makes the call to the bullpen, so we will have a pitching change, and Will Hunt's day is over.
He did not get anybody out in the 8th. He yielded a single to Bormaster, a double to Kaplan, an RBI single to Giarratano, and a single to Aubrey. Overton, Carter, Hunt, and now the 3rd reliever. We'll be right back. Tulane leads by a pair in the 8th on the Jumbo Sports Network. Chris Coughlin, with a record of 6-3, is making his 20th appearance. He has started 13 games. He has 1 save, 84 2/3 innings, 78 hits allowed. He has walked 26. He has fanned 85, so he has a strikeout per inning. And the opposition is batting .248 against him. This staff has an ERA of 3.55, so it's pretty darn good in the pitching department.
Now they can wheel out some good arms at you. Chris Coughlin is in to figure out a way to get out of this mess without any more damage. Hunt was cruising along in his first 2 innings of relief and then tried to go throw a third, and it just kind of unraveled for him. Had a couple of tough breaks, a ball that bounded over the second baseman that looked like a routine ground ball, and then the ball got away from him on the throw in from left field. So
those Tulane folks are anticipating an LSU-Tulane matchup tomorrow at 3 in the middle game of the 3-game set. And I think all of Louisiana is anticipating a Tulane-LSU matchup.
Tulane and LSU have met 3 times this year. and the Green Wave have won 2 of 3, both in New Orleans at the Superdome and at Zephyr Field. LSU's victory came right here at Alex Box Stadium.
Swackhammer drives it deep to center field. Hemingway running back, looks up. Adios. A 3-run swat for Swack. His 9th home run of the year. RBI 36, 37, and 38.
Well, Swackhammer puts the exclamation point on this big bottom of the 8th for the Tulane Green Wave with a 3-run bomb to dead center field. That's well over the 405 sign. A fastball down around the knees, but right down the middle, and Swackhammer jumps all over it.
Well, Coughlin has given up a lot of homers. That's the 11th he has served this year. Swackhammer drove it over the 405 sign. And Tulane has moved out in front by 5. Bogusevic keeps it going with a knock up the middle, his second base hit. Well, make no mistake about it, this Tulane team can produce a lot of runs.
Tulane entered the bottom of the 9th, tied with UNC Wilmington. Both had 9 hits apiece. But now the Green Wave have 15. So 6 hits this inning.
Tulane was the second leading hitter in conference, hitting team in Conference USA this year with a .313 mark behind league champion Southern Mississippi. Coughlin misses to Tommy Manzella. Bormaster singled, Kaplan doubled, Giarratano singled, Aubrey singled, Swackhammer has homered, Bogusevic has singled. If that doesn't sound like there are any outs yet, you're right. So Tulane is taking care of business here in the 8th inning. Eight to 3, the Green Wave on top. And the difference has come right here in the 8th. Manzella has had a nice night, 3 for 3. He has not been retired. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. All of his hits have been singles. LSU and Tulane. Could it be at 3 o'clock? Well, the Green Wave are 3 outs away from making that happen when we go to the 9th. LSU was a winner 11-8 over a stubborn Northeastern team. Tulane broke open a tight one with a 5-run 8th. That's a good breaking ball.
Good pitch right there.
That's only the 3rd strikeout by Wilmington pitching. Overton got one, Carter got one, and Coughlin got that one. So Manzella is out, and Southard bats for the 5th time. He's 1 for 4 with an RBI.
Well, the tide has turned very quickly here against the Green Wave. Ball game looked so even as we went to the bottom of the 8th. 3-3 hits were even, 9 apiece. You had 2 very good relievers on the mound, and Sharon and Hunt. But then it just got away from Hunt in a hurry. And the Green Wave were able just to keep piling on, and of course hitting is contagious, and Everybody kept getting hits, and then they greeted Coughlin as he entered the game rudely and hit a 3-run homer off of him.
Hemingway catches it for out number 2. So Southern, a biomedical engineering major, flies to center field.
Third baseman, Tim Guidry.
Tim Guidry bats for the second time. He's 0 for 1. He replaced Turner Brumby in the middle innings. Two outs, 5 runs in for the Green Wave. Wright thought he had him. Guidry played his high school baseball at Jesuit. A 5'8", 179-pounder. Guidry was on a state championship team as a senior at Jesuit.
Excellent baseball down in New Orleans, particularly in the Catholic League. Talk about Jesuit and Rummel, 2 of the perennial powers. And
well, he won the Rusty
5A
Staub
baseball
Award as the MVP for Jesuit.
This year, East Ascension High School in Gonzales, Louisiana, won the 5A state championship.
Guess who Guidry's cousin is?
Ron?
Absolutely. I throw a softball to you every once in a while.
That was an easy one.
Well, you could have said Waylon Guidry.
So I guess he was part of the Guidry clan. One went to the Bayou and then the other went to the city, right?
I guess so. Guidry stays alive. Speaking of Ron Guidry, Louisiana Lightning, in his prime, those 2 or 3 best years with the Yankees were as good as anybody who's ever pitched in the major leagues.
No question. What would George Steinbrenner pay Ron Guidry nowadays if he had put up those kind of numbers in today's salary bonanza?
Guidry goes down swinging.
Ron Guidry might own the city of Lafayette that he played in the 90s or now.
5 runs in the 8th for Tulane. We go to the 9th with the Green Wave lead. Well, it was tight before Tulane picked up 5 in the 8th on 6 base hits. The Green Wave with 15 on the night. And they are 3 outs away from a date with LSU tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
It'll be a hotly contested game tomorrow. 3 p.m. LSU Tulane at Alex Box Stadium in the winner's bracket round.
Neil Eichhorn will bat against Joey Sharon. Sharon looking for the win here. He has been very, very good again in relief. Eichhorn is a .315 hitter with a 17 for 54 performance, a couple of homers, and 9 runs batted in. LSU won 11-8 over Northeastern in the first game they'd ever played in baseball. And it's likewise here. North Carolina Wilmington has never played Tulane, although Rick Jones, the Tulane coach, played for North Carolina Wilmington.
How about that? Rick Jones, who's now the veteran coach of the state of Louisiana. I mean, once Skip Bertman stepped down and retired after the 2001 season, the title of leading coach in the state kind of went to him. He's been around so long and, of course, has had so much success at Tulane.
Well, he's in the top 10 active list in all-time winning percentage.
He, of course, took Tulane to the College World Series in 2001. Louisiana has some very good coaches. Tony Robichaux and UL Lafayette is well thought of, and of course led them to the World Series in 2000. And Smoke Laval.
Mitch Gaspard at Northwestern State.
At LSU, Mitch Gaspard, Northwestern State, who was an assistant for Jim Wells for years.
Well, he's been to several College World Series and all kind of postseason play.
And of course, McNeese State, Coach Butler over there, a longtime assistant as well for Jim Wells.
Roger Kador at Southern.
And Roger Kador, who just now kind of getting the credit that he deserves.
Aubrey gives way to Manzella, and he tumbles, but he catches it, one gone. Dan Canterbury trying to get that Southeastern program moving.
Dan Canterbury, who has 5 national championship rings as an assistant at LSU.
That's only 3 more than you, though.
Wrapped up his first year as head coach for the Lions. And for UNC Wilmington, so close tonight. I mean, it just kind of got away from them at the end, but they were right there going into the bottom of the 8th, tied 3-3. Had their ace reliever on the mound, and there's some Seahawk fans that a little dejected because it just got a little way away from them in the bottom of the 8th. And unless UNC Wilmington can pull off a miracle here, they're going to play in the 11 a.m. game against the Northeastern Huskies.
John Davis is batting right now for Denson. Davis, a .266 hitter. He started 43 games this year, so he's had plenty of action. 4 homers and 35 RBI. Sharon's changeup nips the outside corner. Now see, there's that bad boot black job. I mean, that's terrible. That was done without the compact. See, the starters get the mirror and the lights and the good stuff, and then when you go down in the order, what's left over goes to the reserves.
I really don't want to believe that UNC Wilmington had
Absolutely.
lots of them.
They didn't have a lot of them, but they were using a couple of compacts. Another changeup takes care of Davis. I mean, they weren't personalized and they weren't inscribed, but they were compacts that they were applying the eye black. Yeah.
Fantastic changeup by Sharon, and he has lived up to all his expectations tonight. He's making his 38th appearance of the season, which is unheard of. And has just dominated since he's come in the ballgame.
1 out away from sealing this victory for Tulane, and Grawe stands between Sharon and Tulane and a victory. Grawe has had a couple of base hits. The man with the master off-speed pitch, Joey Sharon, looking for the victory. Not quite yet. Chip Grawe has 3 base hits, and that's only the second one off Sharon. Matt Wright will try to keep it going. He's had 2 hits. Had a sacrifice fly and scored a run. Two balls and no strikes. Ronnie Rance will be on the field following the ball game. We'll be talking with some folks from Tulane, time permitting, should they hold on. Sharon misses low. That's a strike. Joey Sharon has been baffling hitters out of the bullpen for a long time. The runner breaks. Ground ball left side. That's into left field. Grawey moves to third. And these pesky Seahawks have runners at first and third. Sharon gave up a bunt base hit to right in the seventh. He gives up a single with 2 outs here in the ninth. And with the runner breaking, Grawey was able to take third base. So now it's Hemingway, and Tulane has done a masterful job on the best hitter for the Seahawks. He has rolled out 3 times and fanned with the bases loaded in the seventh. Grawey and Wright on the corners. 2 gone. Ninth inning, Tulane leading by 5. Hemingway has been anxious all night. Sharon struck him out on 3 changeups in the 7th inning. And if you haven't seen this kind of stuff before, it is very difficult to make an adjustment right now. One ball, 1 strike. Hemingway came in with a 7-game hitting streak. Sharon came very close to balking there. Eichhorn and Davis, a pair of pinch hitters, were retired. Grawey and Wright had singled. 2 outs in the ninth. The Tulane bullpen is idle. North Carolina Wilmington needs a couple of more base runners to bring the tying run to the plate. 3-1. And Bormaster will go out to talk to the veteran reliever. Sharon is an out away from setting up the 4th match of the season between Tulane and LSU. That would come at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Here's the pitch. Popped up, and this should do it. Manzella catches it, and the Tulane Green Wave win. In the ninth, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. Joey Sharon's masterful relief and a 5-run 8 have propelled Tulane to a victory in their first game of the regional. We'll come back with a lot more from Alex Fox Stadium following this timeout on the Jumbo Sports Network. Well, Tulane used 5 runs in the 8th inning to propel itself to an 8-3 victory. 8 runs, 15 hits, 2 errors, and for Tulane, 10 stranded. North Carolina Wilmington, 3 runs, 11 hits, 4 errors. Some of them were costly, and they stranded 9. Joey Sharon was the winning pitcher. He is 4-7. And Will Hunt, the second of 3 relievers for North Carolina Wilmington, absorbed the loss. His record is now 2-2. Tulane wins. LSU won earlier. It sets up the match between the Green Wave and LSU tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Let's go down on the field. Ronnie Rance is standing by.
Thank you, Lynn. I'm down here with Coach Shooter. Chad, I'll tell you what, outstanding job by your bullpen. What about Sharon? It just seems to be a workhorse for you.
He sure does. He's been our go-to guy all year, and he came in bases loaded, nobody out, and got us out of it. But he wouldn't have been able to come into that situation if the freshman Billy Moll didn't go out there and do what he did and give us 6 strong innings. So it was a total pitching staff effort today. Let's
talk about Moll for a minute. He had his moments up and down, but he battled through nicely, and you kind of burned a path from the dugout to the mound. What did you tell him each time?
I just try to go out there and stay positive with him. I mean, he's a young kid with lots of potential and pitching in his first real big game, and I think he responded. I went out there. I just tried to keep him positive and keep him motivated. He went right after him, and like I said, gave us a great outing, and we were able to get to Joey.
What did you guys talk about during the week? I know, obviously, probably a little disappointed coming to Baton Rouge, would maybe wanted to go somewhere else for a regional. What did you tell each other during the week?
We use it as motivation. I mean, what better place to come in and try to win a regional and try to do a victory lap around this place? They've had so much success here, but we're comfortable here. We've been coming here a bunch, playing a lot of regionals here, so this isn't our first time. And we can come in here and I don't think you ever feel comfortable, but we can feel as comfortable as a team could be. Coming here and play, and now we get to play LSU tomorrow in front of a great crowd, and it's going to be a great day for college baseball.
Well, congratulations on an outstanding performance, and good luck tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Chad. So let's go back up to you, Lynn.
Okay, Ronnie, thank you very much. Tulane wins it by an 8-3 count, setting up the much-anticipated matchup with LSU. We'll be back with more from Alex Park Stadium following this timeout. Tulane wins for the 44th time this year against 17 losses. Game 1 in this Baton Rouge Regional goes Tulane's way. LSU won earlier over Northeastern. Let's go back down on the field. Ronnie Rance is standing by with Tony Manzella, the second baseman for the Green Wave.
How you doing? Thank you, Lynn. Down here with Mr. Manzella. An outstanding performance. Had 3 hits tonight. And for the Green Wave, you're one of the veteran guys. You're one of the go-to guys. You've kind of got a veteran offense and a rookie defense, if you will, as far as the pitchers. But what did you tell the pitchers about playing in regionals at the box?
It's something. Just veterans have been here before. We were here last year, and we hosted one back about 2 years ago. So, a lot of the fielders know what it's like to be out here. So we're just doing the best we can to prepare our pitchers, to try to give them a little bit of a heads up on what to expect when they come out here. And I think Billy Moll did a great job. Came out, obviously he's never pitched in a game like this before, and gave us a huge lift in the beginning by, just keeping him off base.
Talk a little bit about Sharon's effort. You've played with him for 3 years now, and he just continues to dominate when he comes in the ballgame.
Yeah. He's just one of those guys. He comes in and gets the job done no matter what the situation. And it's incredible to have a guy like that on your team. Just that he comes in, he's lights out, and 99% of the time he's going to go in and get the job done for you. And it's a huge lift knowing as a team that if we're tied up going into the bottom of the 8th, we get a couple of runs, we know the game is pretty much in our hands. So it's just a great feeling to have that going into the last inning.
Finally, you guys have had a lot of success against LSU in New Orleans. Now you've got to take care of business in Baton Rouge. Have you talked about that? And are you guys ready to go?
Yeah, man, we're excited as you're going to be. We're going to be coming in a great atmosphere, and this is something we look forward to ever since we found out we're coming here. So I'm glad we got the first one out of the way, and we're just going to come in and take care of business tomorrow.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks a lot.
All right, let's go back upstairs to Lynn. The Tulane Green Wave get their wish. They get LSU tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Ronnie, thank you very much. We'll be back with our Dodge Player of the Game, and we'll set it up tomorrow. A big day coming your way on the Jumbo Sports Network.
It's time to move up to the luxury of Long Ridge, a gated luxury community featuring beautiful landscaped grounds, pool, executive business center, and state-of-the-art fitness center. Each unit features 9-foot ceilings, ceiling fans, kitchen with microwave, utility room with washer and dryer, a garden tub in the back, walk-in closets, and a private patio or balcony for entertaining your guests. Explore living beyond the ordinary. Come home to Long Ridge Luxury Apartments, just off Sherwood across from Piccadilly.
Y'all play checkers in here all the time. You need some excitement.
Excitement? Play Cash Quest. Cash what? Cash Quest. From the lottery, you pick one set of 4 numbers, and the lottery gives you 6 more sets of 4. That's 7 chances to win. Maybe $50,000. $50,000? Next.
Hey, nice.
Nice? It's dynamite!
Are you ready for a new apartment? The Oaks of Kingsbridge is located in the exclusive southeast side of Baton Rouge, off South Sherwood Forest across from Piccadilly. Oaks of Kingsbridge is a gated community in a quiet wooded setting with easy access to all parts of metropolitan Baton Rouge. There are many floor plans to choose from with 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units available now. Come to the Oaks of Kingsbridge. Come to a home in the quiet forest. The Oaks of Kingsbridge.
Tulane wins 8-3 over North Carolina Wilmington. Our Dodge player of the game is Johnny Kaplan. Kaplan at the top of the order was hit by a pitch, homered, his 10th of the year, singled and doubled. He scored a couple of times. He knocked in a run, and he played his usual solid center field. Congratulations to Johnny Kaplan, the Tulane center fielder, our Dodge player of the game. Well, Northeastern, which lost 11-8 to LSU in the first game, now meets North Carolina Wilmington at 11 a.m. tomorrow. The Tulane-LSU game is scheduled to go at 3, and then the survivor of Game 1 will play the loser of Game 2 tomorrow in the second elimination game on Saturday, and that will start about 7:30. Tulane has tabbed freshman left-hander J.R. Crowell to pitch against the Tigers tomorrow. He has won 8 and lost none. He'll be making his 16th start of the year. 8-0 Crowell on the hill for Tulane tomorrow. And Nate Bumstead, who has pitched so well as a rookie for LSU, gets the start for the Tigers. You don't want to miss that matchup. It's scheduled to start at 3 o'clock. Bumstead and Crowell, 2 youngsters in the biggest ball games of their early careers at the respective schools. All 3 games tomorrow will be brought to you along the network, starting at 11 o'clock with Northeastern and North Carolina Wilmington. Tonight's game has been brought to you in part by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. By State Farm Insurance and State Farm Financial Products. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Cleco, winner of a National Emergency Response Award for its actions following Hurricane Lily. By Abita Beer, the best tasting beer in Louisiana. And by Wright and Percy Insurance. Well, we hope you've enjoyed it from Baton Rouge today. The Tigers won the first game 11-8, and Tulane wins the nightcap over North Carolina Wilmington by a score of 8-3. We'll be back on the air tomorrow at 11 o'clock. 3 games coming your way tomorrow. It's a big day, wall-to-wall baseball from Baton Rouge, and we hope you're with us. For Ronnie Rance and the entire Jumbo Sports Network crew, I'm Lynn Rollins. Have a pleasant evening, everyone, and we'll see you for Baseball and Brunch tomorrow morning.